welcome. Join me on your mat in your comfortable cross-legged seat, and we'll get started. Take a moment and let yourself just get stable. Feel your hips pushing down real heavy. Feel your legs nice and comfortable. Feel free to use props, blankets, blocks, pillows, whatever you have available to you to either support your knees or raise your hips up. And whenever you find your stability, your comfortable seat, you're going to soften your eyes. Exhale deeply. And breathing in and out of your nose, you begin to participate with your breath. So you're not just observing your breath, you're not just noticing your breath, you're participating. And as you increase your breath, as you become more aware, you'll find your heart beating. If you have trouble feeling that heartbeat, go ahead and place your right hand over your left chest to help you. And through this process, we start to identify our presence, the state of being that we exude while living in the present moment. And with your presence, you're going to become aware now of all your small pockets of tension that you're holding on to. You relax the back of the neck, the shoulders. You let your back round. Now from this place of comfort, we're going to start to relax the neck even further by rolling. Take your ear off to your shoulder, your chin to the ceiling, and then around the other way. You end up with your chin towards your chest, and you find this place where you are comfortably moving your neck without the assistance of your shoulders. You reverse your rotation whenever you like to, or maybe you work back and forth over one spot that's a little bit tight. And you'll notice that as you are moving your neck, all of your awareness is being directed outward, away from your breath, away from your heart. That's natural and normal. Just start to bring it back in. And now you end up with your chin down to your chest, your shoulders pulling down heavy to stretch the backside of your neck. Let your breath move freely. I want you to recognize any stress you're under from sitting in this pose. Acknowledge it and let go of it. You're going to learn how to be under tension without reacting to it. We bring the chin back up. And we're going to take the left arm across the chest. Fold it in. Bring the right arm and use the right arm to squeeze the left arm inwards towards the chest. You start to rock back and forth a little bit, left to right. And you're going to find your stillness rotating to the right. Finding the length through the left shoulder to left elbow. That's the point of tension that we're stretching. Big, deep breath. Drop that arm down. Take the left arm all the way up. And I want you to bring it hand behind your head. Pull that left elbow outwards. We'll drop the left elbow down towards the ribs. and then up towards the ceiling. Open up bigger in the chest. I want you to find the space between your left chest and your left shoulder opening. Drop the left hand down. Left hand now is coming behind our back so that we are going to bring the back side of the hand to the spine. Fingers facing upwards towards the head. And you pull that left arm as high as you can. Open up with the left chest now so that the left shoulder goes to the left, and see if you can grab onto those left fingers with your right fingers. And if you can, then pull the left fingers up with your right hand. Open the chest big, and now relax your right shoulder. One more breath. Release the hands. Shake out that left shoulder. Relax the neck. Bring the right arm out in front of you. Cross over your body. Hook the elbow in and pull that right arm in tight. Twist to the left and right a little bit. Find your breath moving and stay to the left now, squeezing inwards, tension between the shoulder and elbow. You'll find all that tension creeping in towards your chest, beginning to overwhelm you just a bit. And that's when you release from it. That's when you relax and let the tension move with your breath. Right arm drops down. Right hand comes behind your head. We lift this right elbow up. Open up the chest, the space between the chest and the shoulder. Pull that elbow back. Squeeze the elbow down. Bring the elbow up. Open the chest again. Drop the right hand down, and we're going to bring it behind our back like we did last time. So we're flipping this hand and lifting those fingers towards our head. The back of your hand is on your back, your palms facing outwards, and you're reaching those fingers up towards your neck. Left hand's going to go back and reach for them. And whether or not you can link your fingers or not, that's not important. What's important is that you're reaching. You're opening up that right shoulder. Opening up the left shoulder now too. Pulling away from your chest. One more breath. Release. Let the hands come down. Shake out that right arm. We're going to roll the wrists now. Hands go up. Push the palms of your hands away. Lock your elbows. And reverse it. Back of the hands. And you pull the fingers towards you. We're going to do this on the mat in a moment. Increase the tension. Bring the hands down to the knees. Squeeze your fists as hard as you can. Find that strength through your forearms. Keep squeezing the fists. Start to participate with your breath again. Start to find the tension without reacting to it. That's the superpower that we're looking to build here. Release the hands now. We're going to bring the hands out in front of us and move our arms out long so that we fold forward. You're going to bring your belly down in the direction of your feet. Hands go out long. Head goes down to the floor. And you squeeze your upper body down. You can reach long with the arms to stretch the back, tuck your chin. You can fold your elbows to support you. You can have your hands on your knees depending on how tight your hips are. However you're stretching, you squeeze into your hips just like you were squeezing into your fists. And find that you can continue squeezing those muscles without being overwhelmed by it. Continue squeezing those muscles, but relax the neck. Relax the shoulders. And you'll find that you can be under tension in one place, but relaxed in another. We come all the way up to our seat. Take our right hand outside our right hip. Left hand goes up, and we reach for the ceiling. You look to the inside of your palm, and you're going to lift those left fingers as you fold over to the right, bending your right elbow. And you're going to find the tension by planting the left hip down, so that as you lift your left elbow, lift your left hand, you're stretching between your left hip and left elbow. Your eyes are going up to your fingers. And we're going to drop this hand now to our right knee as we sit up tall. We're crossing over the body. Right hand's behind. And we sit up tall and exhale deep as we twist, looking over the back shoulder. And you'll find your hips going one way and your shoulders twisting the opposite way. You let your belly soften up and do the breathing here. Unwind. Take the left hand outside the left hip, and the right hand's going to go all the way up now. Exhale. Fold over to the left. Drop the right shoulder away from your ear so that you can soften the neck. And as you drop the right hip down heavier by pushing into the left hand, you lift out of that right hip, creating tension through your right side body. Drop this hand down to your left knee. Sit up tall. Exhale, twist, looking over the back shoulder. Soften up the belly. And you're going to be pulling with your right hand and pushing into your left hand. So the left hand's stabilizing you, and the right hand is initiating the force for this twist. Last breath. We unwind. Bring the soles of our feet together. And you can take your heels further away from you for more comfort, or you can bring them in tighter for a little bit more tension. Whatever feels right for you. You grab onto your toes, start flapping the knees a little bit, find the extents of your possibility. You find the farthest point where those knees can go. And then you find your stillness. Sit up tall in the chest. And without forcing the knees down, you start to pitch your chest forward. You keep your back straight. You build up as much tension as you can into your hips. And then you exhale. You round your back. Look to your toes. Tuck your chin. And bring the top of your head forward to bring the weight of your upper body over your hips. And without any effort, you just let gravity keep you in this shape. And that's when you reconnect with your breath. You feel your heart. Soften up through your neck. Relax through the hands. Last breath. We're going to sit up tall. And keeping our soles touching, the left knee's going down to the floor. Left hip is heavy. The right hip's coming up so that my right foot plants now. I'm all the way over to the left. And I'm going to drop my right knee to the inside of the foot. You're going to land so that your toes are pointing away from you. Not behind you, but away from you. The right foot is relaxed. Your right heel and your right hip are as close together as you can manage. So as you sit up tall and you support yourself with your hands behind you, open your chest up big, you take your shoulders over to the right. Exhale deeply. Start to push this right hip downwards and towards the heel. You start to feel all of that tension building up in your chest, and you let it go. Let yourself release it. It's a choice. You don't have to hold on to it. If at any point the tension that you're experiencing is overwhelming you, it is your sign that you have to change your environment. You have to pull some weight out of your hip. You have to soften up the posture. It means you've gone too far. You've done too much. You're carrying too much. It's the same rule in life. If you ever find yourself in a position where your breath is not sufficient to calm you down, then you need to remove yourself from that situation. Otherwise, you're going to face the consequences of that overwhelming tension. That's just how it goes. One last breath here. Shoulders to the left. When the tension leaves that right hip, we can extend the right leg long. You find yourself down on both hips. Left knee's down, left foot's into the upper thigh, and you're going to start by pulling those right toes back, finding the muscles in your shin. And then bring the right knee up. Align your sternum to face your knee, so you have to twist inwards. And then fold. Grab the back of your thigh. And you bring your knee as high as you need to get that to happen. You want your belly touching your thigh. And no matter how flexible you are, no matter how deep you can get into your fold, we're all experiencing the same amount of tension. So if this is as far as you can go, then you're experiencing the same tension that I am when I fold all the way down. Flexibility is your reward for discipline. Whatever level you're at, allow yourself to be there. You think about it, if you signed up for Taekwondo classes, you walk in and say, well, I want to be a black belt. That's great. Come on in, let's get started. It's going to take you 10 years. Well, I want to be a black belt today. Well, that's just not possible, but we can get started today and keep working. And over time, you'll get there, I promise. We have this idea that we should be able to move our body however we choose. But the problem is that if you're so out of touch with your body, if you have neglected your body so much for so many years, it takes time. You have to invest the effort to dedicate your time and your effort so that you can get to the place where you can live pain-free and completely express yourself through your body. Last breath. We sit up tall. Everybody's got their leg long now, flat to the floor. And we're going to pull those toes back enough that the heel lifts up just about an inch. It's going to take all the muscles in your thigh to be able to do that. Yes, you're pulling those toes back, but mostly it's the thigh muscles that are activating here. Push that heel away as you pull the toes back. Now with or without your hands, I want you to lift that heel as high as you can for 3 breaths. Keep your eyes focused on your toe. That's 1. Feel the tension in your hips. That's 2. And exhale deeply as you drop that right leg down. Shake out that right foot. Bring the sole of your feet back together again. This time the right hip goes down, the right knee goes down, the left hip lifts, the left foot plants, and we drop this left knee to the inside of our foot. Toes are pointed away to relax the foot. The heel's as tight to the hip as you can manage. We're up tall with our chest. Hands support us behind. And as you lean to the left, you're going to increase that tension. Exhale it out. All in one fluid process. You find yourself breathing. And every inhale, you make more space to release the control of your energy here. Think about the yoga poses as ways to restrict your energy, to channel your energy. If you've got a mighty river and you want to put a dam on it to harness the power of that river to make electricity for a town nearby, then you have to restrict the energy that river carries in order to harness it for the greatest possible good. But in order to restrict energy, you have to understand the flow of it. You have to understand how to release excess energy so that you don't overwhelm the dam. Find your breath making space for you to exist here. Inhale opens you up. Exhale releases. Release your attachments. Shoulders to the right to relax that left hip. Left leg's out long with that relaxed hip. On both of our hips, nice and flat. The right foot's in the upper thigh. The toes pull back. The knee lifts up as high as you need to get your belly and your chest down to that leg. Now remember, face your sternum to your knee. Squeeze in. Tuck your chin. Squeeze that hip just like you can squeeze your fist. And then push your heel away from you as much as your body will allow you to, without removing your belly, without removing your chest. See if you can keep your forehead down to your heel, down to your knee. Push the right knee down. Push the right heel down, the left heel down, excuse me. And now soften up that long leg. Relax the back of your neck. Find your breath flowing. Feel the top of your head moving in the direction of your foot to elongate your back. And you find that stretch now in the lower back. Allow your pose to work for your body. And don't compare yourself with anybody else you see. I'm giving you the simple cues to follow so that you can feel what the pose should feel like. That's what yoga is all about. It's for you. You're not going to jump in and be at somebody else's level. Accept where you're at and embrace it. You're on your own journey. We sit up tall. And with the long, flat leg, we pull the toes back to lift the heel up. We start squeezing the left thigh. Just stay present here. Push that heel away. Feel all of the muscles working. hands come down or not to lift that left heel up. 3 breaths. That's 1. And 2. Inhale. Drop the left heel down. Both legs go out long now. And we're going to take the heels wide as you can manage. Put your hands behind you so that you can push into those hands and scoot your hips just a little forward, just a centimeter. Feel those toes reaching. Feel your calves planting. And before we fold forward, I want you to squeeze your thighs. And notice how that really drives your energy downwards when you squeeze your thighs. So you're going to have a strong, stable base in your legs. And now with a tall back, you pitch your chest forward to increase the tension in your hips. Exhale out that increased tension. Find yourself clearing out all the stress that builds up here. Whenever you've got enough tension in the hips, you plant the hands, tuck the chin, round the shoulders, and let yourself rest. You find that place where you are equally under tension as you are at rest. And we start to explore all the ways in which they come together at the same time. You start to feel the stretch in your hips, throughout your hamstrings, behind your knee, all the ways in which this pose does not feel good. But then you start to look for all the ways in which you are comfortable here, all the ways that your body enjoys this pose. You find your calm, stable breath, your heart beating comfortably. And you start to find that tension and relaxation are a duality, and where one exists, the other one does as well. You'll find that it's a spectrum, that you are somewhere on that line of experiencing tension and relaxation. You allow yourself to breathe while you're exploring this duality. Remember, if at any point your breath is overwhelmed by your stress, you have to release some stress by changing your environment. That means changing your pose, coming up taller, closing your legs, whatever it happens to be for you, so that you can find more comfort here and still breathe calmly. Now, it's important, though, that you don't cheat yourself. Don't show up, do a half-assed job, and then complain later about how yoga doesn't work for you. Don't do that to yourself. Find the place where you are under tension and at rest. You find the edge of your comfort zone. And when you get familiar with the edge of your comfort zone, you'll find that that spot is always changing. You are always growing and expanding. And when you are constantly at the edge without overdoing it, then you are constantly growing. Last breath. We come up tall. We're going to come onto our knees. So one at a time, bring the heels in. You can cross your ankles. Bring them underneath you like you're sitting cross-legged. Use your hands and then push forward onto your knees. Find your tabletop position and uncross the ankles. Bring your knees together. Bring your toes together and sit back on the heels. Now, if this isn't available for you right now, that's okay. You use your block, your pillow, your blanket, whatever props that you're using at home. You're going to separate your feet, place it between your feet, and use it to lift up the height of your hips so that as you sit back, now your hips are elevated above your feet. So wherever you land, wherever you are in this pose, we are all following the same cues now. Rest your arms. Let your hands relax. Tuck your chin. The back of the neck relaxes. Drop the shoulders down and let the space between your shoulders separate. Your back rounds. You exhale deeply. The lower back rounds and your weight moves back towards the heels a bit more. And then reconnect to the breath. Feel all the way into the depth of your discomfort here, your knees and your ankles. You don't shy away from it. We go all the way into it because in the depth of that discomfort must be your comfort. It's the law of duality. It's the way this world works. So as you feel deeply, you'll find that there's also your heartbeat. There's also your breath. There's also the comfort in your neck. You see, the deeper you feel into your tension, into your knees, into your ankles, the deeper you're going to feel into your shoulders, your chest, your neck, and your back. You're going to feel everything all at once. One last breath like this. And we're going to bring the hands down in front of our knees now. Lift the hips up, curl the toes under, and bring the hips back to the heels. Pushing from your fingers, you push back into the heels, and we start to lift those knees up a little bit and curl our weight into our toes. Up and down with the knees. Left and right with the knees. One more breath. We drop both knees down to the mat. Lift the hips up. Come to the tops of the feet and relax those toes. Here in our tabletop position, we're going to find our knees directly under our hips and our wrists directly underneath our shoulders. We're going to move through cat-cow transitions to relax the spine. So as we inhale, we take the chin high and we take the hips high. Your belly drops down. Your eyes go up to the ceiling. You push into the hands. As you exhale, tuck your chin and rock your hips forward so that your tailbone comes underneath you and you lift through the shoulders, separating the space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, back up tall. You'll find that your breath assists your movement and your movement assists your breath. Exhale down. This time as you inhale upwards, I want you to pull back into the hips. Feel those hips lock in place. And stay back so that as you exhale down, you push into your hands. You're pushing away from the floor. Now we go forward. Inhale upwards and push forward into your chest. You get more onto your knees and find that tension in the lower back. Stay forward and exhale down. Find that stretch in your shoulder blades. Inhale back upwards one more time. Exhale downwards. And then we're going to find our neutral spine position and step the left foot in between the hands. You're going to find that place where your hands are either on the floor or supported on blocks or books or whatever you have available for you to lift the height of the floor. And we start softening up our hips, forward and back, left and right. You're going to find the place where you are in your biggest low lunge position. That means you have the most amount of space between your front heel and back knee as possible. And while you do that, your hips are moving forward and down. The last check you have to find is that your knee is directly over your ankle. Now, big space between your front foot and back knee. You start to find fingertips touching the mat. You can graze the mat with your fingertips. You can transfer your fingers. You push forward into that big toe. Take your eyes and stare at one point, and take your hands off the mat completely. One more breath, and we're going to use all of our strength. Bring your hands forward, lift off the front leg. Bring your chest up. Bring your hands up. Notice how you're pushing from your front foot, and your knee came way back away from your ankle. So now use your right hip and push yourself back forward again. And all that weight goes into your hips. Squeeze those hips. Lift the arms. And you'll notice your shoulders scrunching your ears. So as you lift the hands, drop the shoulders down. Let yourself breathe. One more breath. Hands drop down. You frame that front foot again. And we're going to pull the hands and the hips back together. We get ourselves a nice long front leg. Front leg is soft. And then with your hands on blocks or books, if you need to, you push your hips into that front heel so that that leg locks into place. Use your big toe and reach for the floor with the arch of your foot. Bring your left hip outwards now. Find a wide base in your hips. And then see if you can fold inwards. Look down to your knee. Bring your belly to your thigh, your chest in the direction of your thigh. If this knee ever buckles, you've gone too far. Don't let that knee bend. Keep the long left leg. Drive your weight from the back knee into the front heel. So you've got tension here. We're pushing forward but grounding back. Last breath. We're going to sit up tall. Soften the front knee. Bring it back over the ankle. And now both hands come to the inside of your foot. And you're going to heel toe this left foot off to the left edge of your mat. So now you've got your left foot, left hand, right hand, all in alignment with one another. And you push that right hip forward towards the floor. Let that left knee rest along your left arm. Exhale deeply. Just let your hips go forward and down. Let gravity do all the work here. Release the pressure in the back of your neck by tucking your chin. One last breath. We're going to gently bring our hands back a bit, straighten our front leg a bit, and we're going to start to pivot over to the right. We're going to bring our right toes back 90 degrees. We're going to keep this left leg extended. And we find ourselves now sideways from where we were. The right knee's under the right hip. I'm pushing pressure into the blade of my left foot. So this long left leg now is pushing from my hip to my heel. Hands come down, and now I'm going to get to the inside fleshy portion of my right knee. Feel free to put a blanket down under your mat if you want more padding for your knee. We lift the knee up and take it out, outside from the hip. I'm using the back toes to support my body here. You find all the tension now between the left foot and the right knee, and you pull the hips back towards the heel. Nice and easy. I want you to be extra cautious and feel all the ligaments on the inside portion of your knee. If it ever feels too much, just soften that left knee. You can keep it bent. The hips moving back to the heel, and now we bring the chest to the floor as deep as you feel comfortable. Exhale deeply. Allow yourself to be present here, feeling all the things, but holding on to none of them. One last breath. And we push back up to our hands. We're going to bring ourselves up tall and bring the right knee back under the hip for stability. The right hand is going to go outside the right knee. So now I've got a straight line. Left foot, right knee, right hand, all in alignment. Left arm is going up. And as I lift my right arm up, I push my hips. So now I'm pushing between both of my hands. Right hand's pushing down, left hand's lifting up. Chest opens up big. Right hip is pushing forward. Left hip is pushing into my left foot. One last breath. Left hand drops down. We're down onto both the knees, and we're going to turn to face the front of our mat again. With both knees touching, both toes touching, we pull the hips back to the heels and bring the chest down to the knees in this closed-legged child's pose. Arms can be out long, or arms can fold themselves back. Tuck your chin. Give yourself a moment to rest here. Reconnect to your heartbeat. Last breath. We'll use our hands, lift ourselves back up through our tabletop position, and then we're going to bring the right foot in between the hands. We're going to start to soften up the hips, forward and back, left to right. We find that place where we have our biggest pose. So you follow my alignment cues and feel into your body. You find the biggest space possible between the front heel and back knee. You find your front knee directly over your ankle. And you find your hips pushing forward and down. That's when you feel your big toe, pinky toe, and heel all pushing down into the mat. You focus your eyes on your big toe and find your fingertips. Make any last minute adjustments you need to feel a little bit of balance here. See if you can bring your fingertips off the mat, even if they just hover, even if they graze the mat. We're going to use all the strength in this foundation, so tighten yourself up, get ready. Hands come forward, hands lift up. Our belly's off the front thigh, hands are all the way high. And remember, that knee pulled back, so let's push the left hip forward to drive ourselves back into that front foot. Hands stay high, eyes go high. You can separate the space between your hands and relax the shoulders, relax the neck. And then bring the hands together. And I want you to feel the pinkies coming towards one another instead of the thumbs. Feel that chest stay open and stay as far apart or as close as you like. Find the place that you feel comfortable. Exhale, both hands come down to frame the front foot. Eyes to the big toe. We use our hands and our hips to pull back together. We find our long front leg, nice and soft, toes are pointed high. And then both of our hips push into the front heel. And you'll lock into place. The back knee and front heel, you're locked. The toes reach down. The right hip pulls out. And then you make space to fold inwards, letting your eyes look towards your knee. Relax the back of your neck and feel the top of your head moving in the direction of your right foot. Let all the stress move through you, and if you ever find this right knee buckling, you've gone too far. You can lift your chest away from your knee. Bring your hands up onto blocks or books or whatever you're using. so that you can keep your right leg straight, so that you can find the tension between your knee and heel, so that you can keep your toes down and bring your hips wide. Last breath. Soften the front knee, bring it over the ankle. Bring yourself to frame the front foot, and we're going to heel toe this right foot off to the right edge so that the right foot's on the outside, then the right hand, then the left hand. Your hands are underneath your chest as if you're going to do a push-up. And you drive your weight forward. Let your hips go forward and down. Exhale deeply. Give yourself this moment. Find your presence. Where are you right now? Where are you physically? Where are you emotionally? Where are you mentally? And where are you energetically? We're going to find alignment between all four of these places to find our presence. Last breath. We're going to pull the hands back, pull the hips back, straighten this front leg. And I'm going to flip around so that I can continue to see you, but we get this right foot long to the mat. The left knee's underneath our hip, our hands are down in front of us. Pushing into the blade of your foot, you find that yourself locked into position. Right foot, right hip. Left knee is going to come outwards now, and you get onto that inside fleshy portion of your left knee. Hands are supporting you, and you pull your hips back towards your heel, and then you drop your chest downward. Exhale deeply. Soften your right knee if you need to. Relax the back of your neck. Feel that left hip squeezing down a bit deeper. One more breath like this. We push up to the hands. Lift the chest up. Bring the left knee directly underneath the left hip. The left hand's outside the left knee, and we find the right foot, left knee, left hand in alignment so that the right hand can come up. Push the left hip forward and squeeze those left glutes. Open the chest big. Push into the left fingers, push into the right foot. Lock your body into place. All of these points of contact. One more breath. The right hand comes down. You're going to bring those left toes forward and find your seat. Use your hands, nice and easy. Legs go out long in front of you. We're going to find ourselves lying down on our backs. You take just a moment and let yourself rest here. Relieve any tension that you've built up that you're still holding on to. We're going to bring both knees into our chest. Squeeze those knees together now so that you close your hips. Drop the back of your head and bring your knees in the direction of your chest. This is naturally going to lift your hips up as you squeeze into a little ball, but don't do that. Drop those hips down as you squeeze your knees in, and instead of curling into a little ball, flatten yourself into a pancake. Feel that compression in your hips. Pull the heels in tight to help you. Let your breath move. There's a certain amount of surrendering to the pose that you're in. So you're under incredible tension. You're natural instinct is to resist that tension, right? To fight it. But what happens when you stop fighting? What happens when you surrender to the tension you're under? Well, we have this idea that we die, right? If we can't fight this thing that's trying to hurt us, it's going to kill us. But in yoga, that's not the truth. And sometimes in life, that's true. We do have to protect ourselves. We do have to fight. But in yoga, it's the opposite. We actually get stronger when we surrender. When you recognize your tension, you stop fighting it. You surrender to it. You find out that you become the tension. And then you take over. One last breath. Both of our knees are going over to the right side of the floor. We're twisting here. Shoulders stay down. Arms go flat. Knees go down. You'll find that your shoulders are flat to the mat, but your hips are stacked. If you want more of a twist, you are welcome to extend your bottom leg long, keeping the top leg bent. However you feel comfortable, you're welcome to take it here in this twist. 1, 2, we're doing 5 breaths. 3, 4, now release the tension. Exhale deep and bring that left leg down to the mat. Now this time we bring in just the right knee. Squeeze that right knee into your chest. Exhale deeply and twist over to the left. Shoulders are down. Right hip is stacking over the left. Squeeze and use your effort to twist, and then relax. You think about a garden hose. When you turn off the water, that garden hose just softens up. I want your body to do the same thing when you release your effort. You'll find that you keep the same shape, but you're not forcing it anymore. You're not under tension anymore. One more breath. The right leg goes down. You're flat on your back. And we come into Shavasana. You start by planting your hips down heavy. And from your hips, you extend your heels very long and you squeeze your thighs. Drop those heels down and let the feet splay outwards. The feet splaying outwards lets the hips splay outwards and you relax. Now from your hips, you align to your shoulders. So situate those shoulders. Let your chest open, and if you feel comfortable with it, place your hands palms upward. They help your shoulders to go outwards as well, and you relax deeper. Now you got to place the back of your head just right. And once your body's at rest, it really starts to illuminate how relaxed you can be. But the real secret of Shavasana is that it teaches you how much tension you're under, how much of your tension is a result of your mental activity. Now, sometimes the tension you're under is environmental, waiting in line at the bank, stuck in traffic, whatever it happens to be. Sometimes it's those yoga poses that put you under tension. But so much of the time, it's just our mind thinking about the future, thinking about the past, and reacting to it as if it is now. That's what Shavasana is here to teach you. Relax through the hands, relax the back of the neck, Let your body deflate a bit. Release the effort from your posture. And feel your heartbeat. In this pose, we consciously make the choice to feel instead of think. We'll take 2 minutes of silence here. Next breath, you start to make intentional movements through your fingers and toes. Roll your wrists and ankles. Bend your knees and elbows. You take a big deep breath to fill up your chest and muster up the energy to transition yourself up to your seat. Find yourself back in your comfortable pose, firmly planted on your hips and your knees, relaxing your hands and arms and shoulders and neck. Exhale deeply here and come right back into that comfortable place you were just in. Feel deeply into your body. From this calm, neutral space, I want you to take a moment to align yourself with your future goals. So much of this yoga practice is about finding out where you are. I need you to decide where you are going. And I need you to see it clearly so that you can begin to feel what it will feel like once you get there. And without any interference from your tension or your environment, you allow yourself this moment now to feel what it will feel like once you've achieved your goals. Maybe you're looking to bring more love into your life. Maybe you're looking to live pain-free. Maybe you want to be a better manager of your stress, develop healthier boundaries, whatever it happens to be. see yourself in the future already successful. And let yourself feel that way now. This is the process of teaching your body how you want to feel. Feel free to take as much time as you like here with your future goals. I am so grateful that you joined me today. I hope you feel good.